"Sir, your total is $43.25. The cashier's voice echoed softly through the small-town diner, her polite smile fading as the young woman in uniform fumbled through her wallet. Her 3 kids stood beside her, hungry eyes glued to the plates of pancakes and scrambled eggs already sitting on the counter. The little boy clutched his stomach, whispering, "Mom, it's okay, we're not that hungry." The woman's hands trembled. Her military ID peeked from her sleeve, her face flushed with quiet embarrassment. She tried her card again. Declined. Again. Declined. A sigh left her lips, and with it, a piece of her pride. That's when a voice from behind said gently, "Hey, add it to my bill." Heads turned. The man stood there in a janitor's uniform, worn boots, calloused hands, eyes that spoke of exhaustion yet kindness. His name tag read, Ethan. He smiled awkwardly, rubbing the back of his neck as if embarrassed to even be noticed. The woman looked up, startled. "Sir, you don't have to." He waved her off. "It's okay. Been there before. Sometimes life just kicks harder than it should." The cashier nodded, taking his card. The kids' faces lit up instantly, their mother's eyes filled with tears she tried hard to hide. "Thank you," she whispered. "You have no idea." Ethan smiled faintly. "You don't owe me anything. Just pay it forward someday, all right." He walked away before she could say more, leaving behind a simple act of kindness that would soon ripple into something far greater than he ever imagined. Ethan returned to his night job at the local high school. He mopped the long corridors, cleaned up after students, and tried to ignore the ache in his heart that never quite left since his wife's passing 3 years ago. Being a single dad wasn't easy, but his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, was his entire world. Every extra hour he worked was for her future. That night, he tucked her in, telling her about the soldier lady and her kids. "Sometimes, sweetheart," he said softly, "heroes need a little help too." The next morning, the school buzzed with unusual activity. Black SUVs lined the parking lot, and men in uniform stood outside. Ethan frowned, wondering if there was an emergency drill. As he entered the building, the principal called out, "Ethan, you might want to come to the auditorium." Inside stood the same woman from the diner, except now she wasn't wearing her worn fatigues. She was in full formal military dress, medals shining under the lights. The children he had fed yesterday stood beside her, smiling proudly. Ethan froze. "Wait, you're..." The principal interrupted, beaming. "Mr. Ethan Walker, meet Field General Claire Donovan, the first woman in state history to command an active division." The room erupted in applause. Ethan stood speechless, his mop still in hand. Claire stepped forward, her voice firm yet warm. "Yesterday, you didn't see my rank, my uniform, or my past. You just saw a mom struggling to feed her kids. You reminded me what humanity looks like, and I wanted to return that kindness." She handed him an envelope. Ethan hesitated, but she insisted. Inside was a letter, an offer of full scholarship for Lily at the military academy's partner school, and an official commendation recognizing his act of compassion. Tears welled in his eyes. I don't deserve this," he said, voice trembling. Claire smiled softly. "You do. People like you keep this country's spirit alive, not because of what you wear, but because of who you are." Over the following weeks, Claire and Ethan's paths crossed often. She visited the school to oversee a veterans outreach program and saw firsthand how hard Ethan worked. She admired his humility, he admired her strength. Their kids became fast friends. Lily adored Claire's youngest son, while Claire's eldest often helped Ethan fix things around the school. But one evening, as they sat together after an event, Claire finally opened up. "When you helped me that day," she said quietly, "I'd just come back from a classified mission overseas. I hadn't slept in days, and my bank account was frozen due to security clearance renewals. I felt helpless, and ashamed. You saw me when I couldn't even see myself." Ethan nodded slowly. "Guess we both know what it's like to carry too much alone." Their eyes met, two souls, both scarred by loss and duty, yet drawn by something deeper than words. Months passed. Ethan's quiet act of kindness spread online after a diner employee shared the story anonymously. People called him the janitor who helped a general. Offers poured in, but Ethan stayed grounded, still working his shifts and raising Lily with love and patience. One spring morning, a special ceremony was held at the town square. Claire took the stage, uniform gleaming, and called Ethan forward. "Some heroes don't wear medals," she said into the microphone. "They wear work boots." Ethan stepped up, holding Lily's hand. The crowd cheered. Claire handed him a small plaque that read, "For exemplary compassion and service to community." He leaned into the microphone, voice steady but emotional. "I'm not a hero. I'm just a dad trying to do right by my little girl. But if this story teaches anything, it's that kindness doesn't need a uniform. It just needs a heart." The applause was thunderous. Claire's eyes shimmered with pride, not as a general, but as a friend who had found hope again. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Lily ran up to him, tugging his sleeve. "Daddy, are we famous now?" Ethan laughed, picking her up. "Maybe. But I'd rather be known for being kind." Claire smiled, standing beside them, her kids giggling nearby. For the first time in years, Ethan didn't feel alone. And neither did she. Because sometimes, life brings together the broken pieces of two different worlds, and when they fit, they create something whole again. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Because the smallest act of kindness can change someone's world. Just like Ethan's did for General Claire.